Alright guys, bit of a quicker one for you today. It's me against Chris at the club. Warriors of Chaos against Vampire Counts. This is 8th edition, and we're playing basically a straight up battle here. I've got all of my troops deployed. I'm running a Chaos Lord on a Juggernaut, so he's got Markakorn. And essentially, this isn't the sort of list I would take if I could take any selections I wanted. It's really just making use of the models that I have in my collection, as you guys can understand. I think in 8th edition Warriors of Chaos, ideally want to take a lot of Marauders on foot with great weapons because of the new Horde rules and the step up, and you've got a strength 5 weapon all the time. That's fantastic, but I don't really have any of those models, so I've just got what's in my collection already. Most of the stuff in the army has the Mark of Khorne because Frenzy is a little bit easier to manage now, and I've got a couple of level 2s with Shadow. I've got a BSB and so forth. Now Chris has taken 3 big infantry blocks. He's got Skeletons, Graveguard and Ghouls. He's got a Vampire Lord and 2 level 1 vampires with Forbidden Law, and he's got a Black Coach and a Vargolf, which are not pictured here. The next photo shows you them though. On the left hand side of the photo you've got his Black Coach and Vargolf going down the left hand flank, and everything else is just going straight up the centre. Interesting army. Chris always picks these really weird lists for Vampire Counts. They have some little gimmick or trick hidden away in them somewhere, but for the most part they're actually pretty soft. So that's often the joy of playing against this guy. He's taken Lore of Vampires with his Vampire Lord, and for the Forbidden Lore guys he's got Lore of Beasts and Lore of Death. So that's what he's packing in this game. Next image shows you my my new BSB. I've actually just put this guy together and spent one evening sort of basic coats of paint for the actual game here. I've converted a bit of a flail for him, so this is the BSB that I've always run in all my lists, but this is what he's meant to look like, and I finally got a guy for the job. He's in a unit of 10 Marauder horsemen with spears, just because I didn't really want to run javelins anymore, and they are basically there to carry characters quickly into combat and possibly break ranks if they are able to hit the flank without losing too many guys. And that's what's going on here. Next image, Chris is taking the first turn but didn't achieve anything in his first turn. No magic really going off, nothing happening with the Black Coach, so I respond by moving pretty much full steam ahead. I'm planning on taking the charge here with the Knights in the middle by the Black Coach and beating it with my BSB, hopefully, and I've also tried to redirect his Vargolf with my Warhounds. Now, redirection is a lot harder nowadays, but the thing is that the Vargolf, if he charges the hounds and they flee away from him, then he's got to pass a leadership test to redirect into my other guys, but he's a leadership 4 on his own, so that's the plan here, is just to really pull the Vargolf away due to his low leadership, taking a little bit of a risk. I mean, if he hits the flank of the Chaos Knights, and the Chaos Knights are frenzied and we'll have to pursue him over to the right, we'll actually not pursue him over to the right. He's got the unstable rule, or the undead rule, however it works nowadays, but I don't really want to get hit by the Vargolf particularly much because that would slow me down if he survives a round of combat. Next image shows you the other side. The vampires just essentially moving forward, trying to get some spells off here, and nothing really much happening. We're actually sucking a lot of dice into the power phase, but the Black Coach was really unlucky not to pick a lot of them up, so nothing happening there. My spell's really not doing too much damage. I've just got Lore of Shadows, so really debuffs, central for that one. And trying to get spells off on his ghouls and so forth, ready for the next combat. Next image, he actually moves his Vampire Count on the far flank over and casts the Purple Sun, and that streaks through all of my guys, killing like a couple of models, and ending up right in front of this unit of Marauder Horsemen with the mage in it. Now that model that I'm using to represent the mage is what I used to represent the BSB with, but he's now a sorcerer, so there you have it. Chariot of Khorne right in front of them as well. But luckily this didn't actually do any serious damage. Chaos initiative typically pretty high, so managed to get off scot-free. Next photo, what's happened here is the Vargolf has indeed charged the Warhounds off the board, well somewhere in the nearby vicinity, and these guys over here, the Marauder Horsemen, have just moved around to get in his way, essentially, just hold him up for a little while, hopefully march blocking him due to his low leadership. and everybody else just moving to battle in the far background. Now, before I go to the next photo, I do want to tell you that Chris charged my Chaos Knights with his black coach, killed one of them, and my strikebacks destroyed the coach with combat res, so quite effective there. Really happy that they don't actually get ward saves or anything from combat resolution crumbling anymore, so that makes Undead a little bit easier to take care of in this sort of situation. Next image, here's the main battle. All of my knights and BSB and General charging the Vargolf, the Vampire Lord and his ghouls, and I thought this would be a favourable combat. I mean, just look at it. How could that not be a favourable combat? But what I didn't really understand was the potency of Chris's Vampire Lord character build. Now, we're playing open list. I could see what he'd taken, but I wasn't quite aware of how this combat would go down. Now, here's the Night Shroud, which makes me strike last. He's got the sword, the Giant Blade, which gives him +3 strength, so a whopping +8. 8 total strength. He's got Red Fury and Infinite Hatred, so it's a nasty combo. But I figured I'd be able to beat him some other way by killing the ghouls, or breaking him from combat res, or at least saving some of the wounds he'd inflicted. But he had Beguile as well. So with that sort of massive combo on the Vampire Lord, I unfortunately lost the BSB straight away in the first challenge before I could strike and do any damage to him. I killed everything but 13 ghouls in the next round. But in the following combat, the Chaos Lord had to challenge him, and the Chaos Lord, even though he had tons of attacks and damage and everything, didn't have any ward save. So Chris's Vampire killed the Chaos Lord in combat as well, and later on all of the knights, so that did not go very well. Next photo shows you my other unit of knights charging his Graveguard, which I guess was also a similar mistake, because the Graveguard have Killing Blow and get the step-up rule. Luckily I did manage to assassinate his baby vamp here in the unit and crush quite a lot of Graveguard in the process, but my rolling was shocking when I first charged in here, and slowly but surely the Graveguard were tearing me down. So a bit of a misstep here. First game with Warriors of Chaos in 8th, and this is how it's gone down. Next photo shows you a few turns later the carnage that has been wrought. We've got a Vampire Lord by himself in the middle of the field with no ghouls backing him up, and all of my combat characters and knights are dead. The Graveguard in the background are advancing towards me. I've managed to mop up the Vargolf at this point with my Chaos Warriors. The Black Coach is gone, so it's actually looking very grim for me here. He's way ahead on points. His Vampire Lord has been debuffed with two spells from the Lore of Shadows, but it's still not, stopping him from wasting me. Next image, we've got a combat involving his skeleton unit against my Chaos Warriors with Hellbirds. Actually, the models have great weapons, but Hellbird's much better in my opinion at the moment. I've got two sorcerers in combat with his unit. My Chaos Warriors kill his baby vamp in that unit there, but his Chaos Lord is charged into, sorry, not his Chaos Lord, his Vampire Lord is charged into my flank, killing my sorcerer and breaking my unit here. Next photo, his Vampire Lord in the following turn caught out in the open, and my other unit of Hellbird Warriors just charge in, and although he kills several of them, the step-up rule allows me to strike back with Frenzy and Hellbirds, killing him back. And although he was purely equipped for combat, he didn't have any ward saves or anything, so I don't know why I didn't just do this in the first place. It would have been an easy win, in my opinion, if I just sort of planned for that, but I just didn't realize how offensive that Vampire Lord was, and much impressed by Chris for coming up with it. Next image shows you me reforming around and attempting to attack this skeleton unit, but that's essentially it. The next photo shows you the chariot charging into the Graveguard, not killing them out either, so the game ends a lot closer than I thought it would be after I lost my characters, but Chris still managed to win on points. He did lose his Vampire Lord, but he just had more points left on the board with his big Graveguard unit and his big skeleton unit next to my 3 or 4 medium sort of units, so Chris won that game. Really interesting learning experience, but yeah, I'll be playing things a little bit differently next time, possibly bringing out the Demon Prince, Zordak, Prince of Shadows, if you guys remember him. Maybe not with Lore of Shadows, well, probably Lore of Shadows, but I've also got ideas for a Sorcerer Lord with possibly Lore of Heavens or something like that, just to be interesting. Anyway, see you guys next time.